Start with Simon Crabtree.
Hello, Eric. Thank you for this. May we start with an injury update? There's a few maybe on your list of how everybody is, and perhaps specifically Christian and Anthony.
Anthony Martial, he's not available. He's back on the pitch, but not in the team training. Christian Eriksen returned in the team training today, and we have to see how that works out, how he will recover, if he has tomorrow the energy, so we have to wait for that.
Have we any updates with Harry and Donny and Aaron maybe?
Yeah, they make good progress all, and they will return all in team training this week.
That's good news, isn't it? May I ask you about Antonio Conte? I know you've never faced him as a manager at least. I'm just wondering if he's somebody that you've maybe met away from the pitch, and what you think of him as a manager.
He's a fabulous manager. He's winning titles, trophies with in the Premier League, in Italy, and you can really see his signature in the match from his team, and that's a big compliment, I think.
Simon, please.
Eric, I just wanted to follow up. With Christian, obviously he's going to be potentially facing his former club. Has his impact at United even surprised you, just quite how good he's been?
No, because I know him a long time. Because everyone knows he get developed in Ajax, so I knew him from the Netherlands, but also we faced him. So as a manager, I faced him. So I know his capabilities, and I was so happy that we could sign him. And I think he proved from the first day how important he is for our game.
And just on injury updates, we haven't had an update on Brandon Williams and Axel Tuanzebe for a while. Do you think they'll be available before Christmas, or is it going to be after the World Cup?
I see good progress with Brandon Williams. He returned on the pitch, individual base. Axel is still in, working inside, so he's not back on the pitch. I think it will be difficult for Axel also to return before Christmas. So Brandon probably, let's say, not talk about back in the squad for the games, but probably in the training for the team training.
Just on Ronaldo being taken off at the weekend, he seemed very upset. I suppose that's a good thing because a player wants to play football. But is he? How's he feeling? Is he happy? Continued rumours about his future.
I think non-player is happy when he get off, and especially not Ronaldo. I understand that. If as long as it is in a quite normal way, no problem with that. He has the convincement he should stay on and he should score a goal. That is why he's that good.
He scored a hat-trick in this fixture last season, so is that in your thoughts ahead of starting him maybe tomorrow?
It's in. I know it, but and of course you also when you make a lineup, several facts you count on. But also other facts you take count on.
Eric, can you give us your response to the fact that Manchester United have been charged over the behaviour of their players, your players, on Sunday?
And what's the question?
Can you give us your response to the fact?
My response to the charge? Yeah, it was. I must say, I don't think it was too strong. It was. I think they don't want really aggressive, but I don't know what's happening exactly on the pitch, because for me it was too far away. I have seen it back on video, and so there was a touch from the player from Newcastle. That was quite clear, and then they go to the ref to ask about. Okay.
Could you just give us your thoughts? There's been a lot of debate in this country about referees and respect and how that feeds down to the very lowest levels of the game where children play and referees get abused because they're on their own. It wasn't the worst incident at the weekend, but your team chased after a referee and that looks not great. What is your view of that and the example that's setting to younger players who are just starting to play football?
First of all, and I want to express that we have always accept the referee's decisions, but it's also quite normal that you ask why. In the moment it was a curious incident that you ask as a team why, but what my view is finally and quite quick you have to accept it's the referee's decision. It's a VAR, so okay, then you accept it, and then you have to move on. And you are right, we are example for amateurs, example for youth, professional players, quite clear. So we have to know our role, and but it's also about professional football. So once again, when it's a decision like this, and once again, it was quite obvious. The player touched the ball from Newcastle, and so our players took advantage from it. And that you ask, so why? But then I think so. When he explained, then it's and it has to be quite soon. Then it's done, clear.
Eric, you've got a crazy month of fixtures, and then the World Cup starts. This season is different to all others. How do you prepare differently? How do you look medium term, longer term at the state of your squad and the likely state of the players?
Yeah, from the start of the season, we did that. We tried to plan that, to the overload on players, and you see around with many clubs now, injuries are coming up, and you can't avoid everything because it's top football. In top football, they go to the limits, and injuries will come. But with this many games and in a long season, and also what's a huge problem is players don't get a break in summer. So there's so huge overload on the players, so they can't recover. You have to manage that, and you have also to protect the players as a manager, to get the best out of them, not only from the risk of injury, but also to keep them in the right form, and also to keep them in the right form in the end of the season. And so I think you have to rotate. You need a squad. You need more 11 players, so you have to rotate to keep everyone fresh, to what I said, to avoid big injuries as much as you can, and to get them in the right shape and to keep them in the right shape, in the right form.
I think you've only got 13 in the league. Only Bournemouth of the top 10 have scored fewer. Why is that, in your opinion, and how much of a concern is that going forward? Because you obviously need to score more goals.
I think Ressi scored 5 goals out of 11. Anthony, he wasn't involved in the first games, but he scored 3 in his first 4 appearances. Jadon Sancho scored 3 goals. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 2 goals. So I think our Martial, don't forget him, he scored also 3 goals. So I think we have players who can be productive. And so, in that matter of fact, it's not a real concern.
But you need more goals from midfield, because I think Bruno's got 1 in 13. I don't think anyone else has got any goals, if I'm right.
Yeah, but I think Bruno's playing really good, I think, this season. So I can see. I think he, in that fact, he can produce more goals, assists. But I think he's in the line of the goal. And he's playing, I think, a massive role in a lot of moments of football for us, in building up in attacking, creativity, in movement, but also transition, both sides. But transition, defense transition, he's magnificent. He's doing a really good job. So I'm really happy with his performance.
Samuel.
Eric, David De Gea has said a number of times that he wants to stay at the club. Do you want to keep him?
We didn't make a decision on him, but once I can say I'm really happy with David De Gea as a keeper. His first 2 games of the season were not his best performances, but after that you see he brings us really a lot for the defense department, gives stability. And as a person also, I like him. I can cooperate really well with him. But first we go to the winter, and then we will talk about how we deal with such situations.
And does that apply with the other players? I think Marcus Rashford, Diogo Dalot, Fred. There are some other players who are out of contract in the summer, but you've got extension options on them. Will those decisions also be made in the winter?
In this moment, we only think about performing. We have a lot of games to go, so I don't want to get that interfered by talks. We have to focus on football, on performances, and not on negotiating. So that's what we are doing now.
Neil, you said about Antonio Conte putting a mark on his teams. What is that mark, in your view, that he puts on his teams?
Really well organised, and in and out of possession in an intense way.
And when you said you asked the players asked the referee, why haven't you given the goal? What did the referee say to them?
He had another opinion. We have seen. So then once again, then we accept it and we keep on going.
Rob.
There was a suggestion about a year ago that you possibly spoke to Tottenham about taking their job before this job came up. Was that ever close to happening at all?
I never talk about so interest or what else, and it's also it's not interesting. It's about I'm here, and I'm happy to be here, and I want to get the best out of her.
Jamie.
Hi, Eric. It's obviously a massive job coming to Manchester United. I think you're 12, 13, 14 games in it. I know you always want more, you're a perfectionist and all the rest of it, but are you happy with where the team is so far at the start of your sort of time here?
Yeah, I'm the person I'm never satisfied. I'm happy to be here, but I'm not satisfied with where we are. But I also know, so I'm a little bit impatient, and I think good is not good enough. We have to do better, and I think I see many things who can go better, but also I see improvement, and I think when we keep going this process and we will improve further, then the results will even be better.
But being realistic, considering you brought 5 or 6 players in, the team bombed last season, could you expect any better league position, for example, really, than sort of 5th? With all that sort of change?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. And there are obviously many problems. We have to integrate many players. We still have to do with some problems in offensive. From the start, Cristiano Ronaldo not available, start of the season. Anthony Martial, he failed us. He isn't almost not be on the pitch. I think he didn't play one full game till now. So I'm sure when that will be better. So your 2 number 9s actually are not there. Then when they will be present and fit and in a good competitive shape, then I think the results from the team will improve.
Okay, last 2 questions, Mike and then Paul. Mike McGrath.
Hi, Eric. With the contracts that are expiring, like Samuel said, is it quite a positive thing that these players have something to play for, a real incentive, rather than the long-term security of a long contract?
Oh, that is, it's from the psyche, it's something from the head, and some players get motivated when they play for a contract, if you mean that. But that's not the way why we handle it like this. It's just we want to restore Man United. We want to develop the squad. We want to develop the team. We will bring everything to a better level. We work on that way of play. We work also important on the culture, and we need, of course, quality players who are highly motivated and such players we are looking for, and luckily we have them in the squad, and so I'm quite happy with the squad, the way they work, the motivation they all have, and I think the cooperation is quite good.
Last question, Paul.
Just coming back to Bruno, Eric, he's worn the captain's armband when Harry's not played. Have you been impressed by how he's led the team on the pitch?
That's also one of the things. I think he's really the example. The way he transfers, the way of play from us, how he motivates around him, how he is the example. So the energy he gives to the team. So that's really good. So I'm happy with his performance, and I know, and it will come. His goals and his assists will be even more.
You said that you're never satisfied 100%. Do you see that in Bruno as well, in the way that he approaches the game?
Yes, I see that. Yeah.
Same personality.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.